I want to bring in now former White House Chief of Staff and Bondi Partners consultant, Mick Mulvaney. Mick, great to see you once again. First of all, I want to ask you about this issue. It's not a surprise that Anthony Albanese has got here. He's been moving towards this more rapidly in the last couple of weeks. But how will America see this move?
Yeah, there's going to be some folks who love it. Most of those people are not in power right now. There's going to be a lot of people who don't like it, specifically the Trump administration. Look, this is how it's being spun here, is that, Donald Trump is getting ready to meet with Vladimir Putin in Alaska on Friday. And a lot of, say, European leaders, let's pick Emmanuel Macron, is saying, oh, my goodness, I can't believe we're considering rewarding Russia with land in response to their invasion of Ukraine. So why would we reward Russia for that behavior? And yet France, the UK, and now apparently Australia are going to reward Hamas for invading Israel on October 7th, 2 years ago. That's what this is. I mean, that's how it's going to be spun in the United States. Again, Democrats are going to love it. People who are pro-Palestinian here are going to love it. But the folks in control of the House, the Senate and the White House right now are not going to like it very much.
What about Trump himself? Because, of course, America is Israel's biggest ally. Benjamin Netanyahu couldn't be doing with what he is doing without the support of Donald Trump and the United States. But Donald Trump recently has made, I think, small divergences away from Bibi, concerned about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Where does that leave Trump, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the relationship is still very good. I think Trump is scratching his head and worried about the humanitarian situation, as so many people are. But I'm not sure how it's being covered in the media in Australia. But here, for every story about how the Israelis are preventing food from getting to the folks in Gaza, there's another story about how Hamas is preventing food from getting to folks in Gaza. So it's sort of difficult to tell. Look, there was some reporting early on after the October 7th invasion from 2 years ago that Hamas had sort of a mantra. It was that a dead Jew was good, but that a dead Palestinian was better, because what they wanted to do was try to foment some type of exactly what they have, of a humanitarian crisis, of a backlash against Israel and so forth. And there's an argument to be made that Hamas is sitting back right now after Anthony Albanese and Emmanuel Macron and Keir Starmer make these announcements and go, wow, it's working exactly as we planned. And that's what Anthony Albanese is going to have to address the next time he talks to his American counterparts.
Yeah, indeed. And Trump also, that Truth Social tweet that I remember so well, when Canada recognised Palestine, Trump tweeted or posted on Truth Social, well, it's going to be pretty hard to do a trade deal now. Do you think that kind of leverage could be used against Australia too?
Yes. I mean, I don't have, you ask a straight question, I'll give you a straight answer. Yes, it could. It's not going to be received well at all. And it's not going to be sort of cover that, oh, well, France went first and the UK went first. And it's just, just us here in Australia going along with the rest of the crowd. Everybody's going to have to answer for this on their own. And I can't tell you how the Trump team is going to respond. It will be different for different countries, but it certainly will be one of the factors taken into the negotiations on trade and on so many other things.
How do we read this full takeover of the Gaza Strip, this attempt by Benjamin Netanyahu? He would have run that by Trump. So do we, is Trump worried about Netanyahu's overreach here? Or do you think, Netanyahu's doing it at the behest of Trump?
No, I don't think he's doing it at the behest of Trump. I think it's fair to say that Netanyahu does touch base with Trump. He doesn't ask for permission, but there's a good relationship and communication between the folks. I think if I had to guess, Laura, and I want to make it clear here, I'm guessing that Netanyahu might have called and sort of said, look, here's what we're going to do. Here's why we think it's a good idea, and try and make the case to Trump directly. That's what I would do if I was Netanyahu. It's what I would do if I was any world leader dealing with the President of the United States. You don't call and ask for permission because that shows weakness, and he doesn't respect that. But you call and make the case and try to get him on your side. And again, an educated guess is that's probably what happened with Netanyahu.
I think you're right. Mick Mulvaney, always love your insights. Thanks so much. We'll talk next week.